Welcome back. This is a part 2 tutorial for Supervised Agriculture Experience Connecticut waiver forms. And everyone who's in an SAE, an agriculture program, has to have a universal structured work-based learning plan. And the form I'm going to show you is the second page of any of the 3 waivers that the state of Connecticut has provided. And in my other tutorials, I talked about the unpaid waiver and the paid waiver for 14 to 15-year-olds and the paid waiver for 16 and 17-year-olds. Every single waiver has this page that's up on my screen embedded in it, and I'm going to talk about that. So as you fill out your first page, which is up here, all the information will populate on this second page, and the supervisor name should populate as well. Let me just show you how that works. So we're going to scroll up. We're going to find student craft-based supervisor. We're going to say it's Joe Smith. And if we scroll down, you can see it's populated, which is great. It saves some time. The next thing you're going to do is check the box on the left that makes the most sense. Agriculture, Science, and Technology Education is what we're in, SAE. So you're going to check that second box. You scroll down and your career learning tasks. This is where you put all the things that you're doing at your job site. And I don't mean a list of 5,000. I mean your main core goals. So I'm working at a flower shop and the person is teaching me marketing skills. I'm going to be learning about marketing. I'm going to develop some SMART goals. These are goals that are attainable in a timely manner. And so I'm talking about that. So I say I'm develop SMART goals. That's one of my tasks. I want to learn how to identify plants and flowers. So I've placed that in there by common name and scientific name. I'm going to create flower arrangements for the store and develop customer relationships by waiting on customers every day. So I've chosen my learning tasks. Now, the second part of this is, what does that correlate to? And if you're having trouble picking your learning tasks, you could actually use the link I'm going to provide to you to help you, your teacher, and your employer develop those tasks based on some actual teaching standards. It's pretty cool. So let me show you. So what I have in the PowerPoint that I provided is an actual link. See, it says link to National Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resource Standards. So when you have your arrow black and it turns to a hand and you can click on that, it's going to bring us to the nationalffa.org website, which is really epic. And if you scroll down, here it says AFNR documents. And within here are all these little links. Power structure, that's ag mechanics. It's just a fancy way of saying it's for all the ag mechanics and any type of woodworking and welding and tractor repair are areas. Plant systems, that here has to do with plant science. Natural resources, food products like food science, environmental services, that might be something to have to do that's in conjunction with natural resources. Career readiness practices. This and agribusiness, they go hand in hand. They're very similar. Like, how are you preparing for the real world? Maybe customer relationships, dealing with the public, marketing. There's a lot of things that are interchangeable within the career readiness and the agribusiness. Read the headings, and I'll show you how to do that to figure out which one makes the most sense. Animal systems, that has to do with animal science. Biotechnology, which is can go in conjunction with a lot of these different areas, plant science and natural resources and agribusiness. In case you're wondering, a lot of these are interconnectable. So I'll show you how that works in a moment. So you're at here and you're going to be learning about marketing techniques. So we want to put in something that makes sense. So we've already clicked the link. And marketing has to do with business. It also has to do possibly with career readiness. But I think agribusiness, it makes the most sense. So I'm going to click on that agribusiness. And it comes and it brings up a PDF document. Control F on your Windows computer, Command F on your Mac. And I'm going to put in marketing, the keyword marketing. And see, it populated 18 possibilities. So I'm going to scroll down. And there's this big window here. ABS, use sales and marketing principles to accomplish business objectives. AFNR is agriculture, food, and natural resource. That's just a shortened word for this document. So just now, you know you're in the right area. You're in the marketing area. You are able to now actually look and read. What are you going to be doing? To research and summarize different forms of marketing competition found in businesses. Maybe I'm going to design and conduct experiments to determine marketing competition. Okay, maybe. So you have to ask yourself questions. What makes the most sense for what I'm doing with the marketing? Read these little rectangular boxes and then choose the one that makes the most sense for you. For example, apply the sales process to AFNR businesses and communicate ways to accomplish the business goals and objectives. So you may have decided that a great way to build that flower shop business that is a mom and pop shop that's been around for 100 years is to create a website. And so you went into Google and you created a Google website for the company, and you helped promote it through social media like Twitter and Facebook. And the business has asked you to do that as part of your job. Then you would pick this one, apply the sales process, and communicate ways for accomplishing. You talk to the owner and say, hey, this is a great way where we can communicate and learn. So then you would go back to your tasks and you would put that code in right there. So you see that ABS 0.05, 0.02, 0.01B, just a lot of numbers and letters, is the code for that. So all you have to do is go back to your form and type in ABS dot 05.02 dot 01B. Printing this form for yourself, of course, uses paper, but it may help you in order to get your goals accomplished. So you have a actual hard copy form in front of you, and you can use that to get to your goals. Some people use more than one. So now we have that. So now develop SMART goals. I know, for example, SMART goals are in career ready practices. So I'm going to pull up that PDF and I'll just show you. I go Command F for my Mac and I type in the word SMART, and one should pop up, and there it is right here. And then it talks about SMART goals. Create goals for personal growth. You may want to use that. So this is just giving you examples of how that is accomplished. So it's sometimes a layered situation. So we're going to go back to your form. Okay, so we talked about SMART goals. We would type in the code on the right. Identify plants by common name. Identify plants and flowers by scientific name. Now, we know that that really isn't an agribusiness practice or a competency that we were just in, but we know it's a plant system. So you just have to ask yourself these questions. So we would scroll down, see where it says Plant Systems Career Path right here. You just simply click it, and it's going to bring up this PDF. Hit Control F or Command F for your Mac. And I'm going to say common. That's a keyword, common. Let's see what happens when we click on common. Oh, look at this. Identify and describe important plants to agriculture and ornamental plant systems by common names. So we would be able to choose this code and place it in that right-hand column. And remember, I also had said one of my learning tasks was by scientific name. That was my next learning task. I know the common name, and I want to also know the scientific name. So luckily, this form, if I can go back to it here, it also has identify and describe important plants and agriculture with scientific names as well. So I would use this code right here, ps.02.01.02.c, on my form. I would place that right there. So let's just do that to show you. ps.02.01.02.01.c. Okay. Okay, 1. And just double check that to make sure it's right. We missed an O2. Okay, perfect. Again, you may want to print these out. Some computers allow you to actually, when you're inside these, hover over them, highlight them with your mouse, and copy and paste. Sometimes they don't always work, so I wanted to show you that to do it manually. Right now, I'm able to right-click, copy. Let's see if it'll let me paste it in to show you. And it is not allowing me to paste. So just so you know, I manually put it in. Some computers I've been on will allow you to do that. Create flower arrangements. So again, we're in plant science. So flower design. So maybe we'll just put in the word design and see what comes up. No, we have 17 options. So we want to scroll down till we see the one that makes sense. Here we go. Apply principles of design in plant systems to enhance environment. And then it has an example: floral, forest, landscape, and farm. So we would read these little, again, rectangle boxes and choose the one that makes the most sense for what we are doing. Demonstrate proper use of plants in their environment. Focal and filler plants in floriculture. That would be basically, you know, and heat landscape design. So say if we were working outside at the flower shop, designing a nice layout with plants, we may choose that one. And if we scroll down and we're actually making a flower arrangement, we would possibly use apply principles and elements of design that form basic and artistic impression. Demonstrate use of tools used for creating designs. So we may have more than one code that gets us to our task. So I think I would choose this one and this one for my learning task. It makes sense. And again, you can work with your teacher. You would type in the proper code here and the proper code that goes along with it, and then continue on to develop customer relationships. So again, customer relationships could be agribusiness. So we're going to go back up and pick, in this case, agribusiness. And it loads them up. I'm going to go and do my little shortcut, customer. Assess different customer reactions that could be encountered during different types of sales calls. Perhaps we are going on the phone to talk to clients. A lot of times in the flower industry, we actually have people call up the flower shop and say they need help with a flower arrangement. And now you can evaluate how to help those customers and what happens when you're on the phone with them. And this is part of your task. And so you would read these little boxes again to determine which one makes the most sense. But the key here to helping you have shortcuts is using that Control F or Command F button to search for a trigger word within these documents in order to create your entire plan. So once this is all filled out with all the proper codes and your learning tasks, your job is almost done. And I'm going to back up for a second. In my other video, I talked about power equipment. On the first page of the form, there may be, depending on the form that you use, a place that says what power equipment are you using. And this universal workplace learning plan is where you would put that in here. So say I was using a bandsaw, I would place that in that box. But in this case, I'm not. So there's nothing there. So that page is done. This part on the side over in this right-hand column is actually going to be deleted from the new form that's coming out. You just ignore this right-hand column here that says evaluation marking period. That is actually going to disappear on the updated form that the state of Connecticut is developing. The last page of the form may have this on it: partnership agreement for work-based learning plan. And it looks like just like this, and all of the forms have this. And this is just simple information that gets populated. Some of it gets populated, some of it you have to add in. This is just basic information, such as emergency phone number, your email address. This is for, and it's titled student or youth. And you would put all the information in here. And this you, again, would type in yourself if it doesn't self-populate. Employer, this is all basic information: address, city, zip code, employer phone number. The mentor name is going to self-populate based on the first page. The worksite mentor phone number and email. If it doesn't self-populate, you would have to put it in, but let's just scroll up and show you. So mentor name, and let's see, Petunia dot Jones. Actually, her last name was Rose at yahoo.com. And then the phone number, let's say 555, when the movie's now 555, 555. So if you go to that last page, it put in her email address. Didn't like the phone number. So let's try this again. And it's not liking it. Okay, so you might have to type it in yourself once you get down there. Employer phone number 860-203-4455. Okay. All right, so it took it now. So if it takes it on the last page, it should populate, and it didn't. Okay, so you're going to have to hand type that in. School agency. Again, this should populate. There's the address. We're going to go back up to the top. So let's do 111 Smith Road. Let's scroll down and I'll show you. See, it populated it in there. And same with the city and the zip code. School agency, you have the phone number and the email of your supervisor. And type of work-based learning experience. Notice it pre-checked it off for us. Since we checked it off on this page here, the Universal Structured Work-Based Learning Plan, it automatically checked off that box on the last page. And worksite title was filled out for us, and so was the end date of our project. The last and final page are for signatures. The student has to sign, the parent signs, the employer signs, the supervisor signs at the school. So again, this may or may not be your teacher. Your worksite mentor, who is your boss, who oversees your work on a daily basis, signs, and then you're done. So if you have any questions on these forms, please let me know. You can email me at LoriTrovato710@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to assist. Thank you.